Today I am vlogging on the $300 setup that pretty much built my photography and videography career. I think I'm gonna make it like a little product shot, little quick shots, 15 seconds or less. We're gonna do it outside. Today I actually forgot my SD card. I'm about to go buy an SD card. Before we do that though, let's look at the setup. This camera pretty much built my entire career. Photography, videography. Camera is like a 10-year-old camera. It's the Canon 70D. The flip out screen, articulating. I'm not a person who gives up on cameras. More valuable to me in my arsenal than they are like selling. We're also gonna be shooting with this here, which is the 10 to 18 millimeter Canon. This lens a great fit for the 70D. Now the only reason why I'm shooting with it today is because it caught my eye when I was cleaning up my office. I was like, man, I have this camera, I have a couple other cameras. What am I doing with these cameras? I want to see if they still look good up against some of the other cameras that are around. I'm starting this series with just, right now I'm vlogging on my phone. We'll switch over to that once we get to the store. I'm gonna forgive myself because I left my SD card, but I'm far away from home right now. Yeah, it's cool. Now, one of the coolest things about shooting on a camera like the 70D, the medium is so simple and so cheap. Pretty much any SD card is out there right now will be suitable to shoot on that camera. You don't have to have like this like super expensive cards or medium to core on it. But I will say this, it doesn't have some of the features that we have on our current cameras. I mean, it's a freaking 10-year-old camera. It is what it is. All right, so what we got here? We got the Canon R100. It's a nice camera with the 18 to 45 millimeter lens. R50, nice camera, great camera to vlog with. This is like the new like Nifty 50 now. R50, we're talking about $800 here. For R100, we're talking about $650. What's that Nifty 50 at? There it is right there. We're talking about $135 there for that. This just in the RF version of it. I want to say I definitely got that lens back in the day for about that price. Now, here's the cool thing about using a camera like the 70D, right? This $13 SD card is enough for you to shoot on that camera. They don't even have anything else in here right now. I know I'm not supposed to be in Target, but we're in Target. Today's mistake is only a $13 mistake. Okay, so now that I'm in the store, I want to go ahead and grab something that I can shoot today. So I'm gonna grab some cheap products that I probably will use as well. I think I'm gonna go with Bevel today. So we got some shave cream. I'm bald. Maybe we'll do some post shave balm and then maybe some face gel. I'm gonna use all these products. They're cheap, but also I feel like when you're shooting like one product, kind of boring. Getting 3 products kind of make it look a little picturesque. All I need is a little spray bottle. Then we can put a little like water or mist on it. So what, $3 water and glycerin gets you like those nice little beads. But I don't have any glycerin, so we'll just do a little bit of water. Pull that right here in the store. A quick note, I'm not like plugging any of these products. I'm just grabbing products that I would typically use because they're not paying me. I think I'm gonna make it like a little product shot of these products here, as well as maybe do like a quick little 15 seconds or less, little quick video. And we're gonna do it outside. All right, so now that we have the SD card, we can actually shoot something now. One of the things that I loved shooting with this camera was like the neutral profile, making sure that you do everything right in camera, making sure that you light it properly. A camera like a 70D does, it makes you have to actually be a good photographer. It makes you actually have to be a good videographer, literally working with the bare minimum. This is not a mirrorless camera. This is a DSLR, exposed properly, making sure you put it in the right lighting scenarios in order for you to get like good quality out of a camera like this. Simple SD card. So with this SD card, we have 29 minutes of recording time with just a 32 gigabyte card. RI 1920 by 1080. Now it does do 60 frames per second, but that's at 1080. Yep. So the color style is neutral. So that basically just means that all of our settings are kind of at zero, no sharpness added, no like saturation added, nothing like that. And so we're gonna switch over to vlogging with this. Okay, so here we are on the 70D. We are recording in 1080p, 24 frames per second, and we are in neutral profile. Now it does have autofocus, which is great. The autofocus on this has always been pretty good. I am shooting on the 10 to 18 millimeter zoom lens here, and this is at 10 millimeters, and this is at 18. If you want to use the same footage and actually have it work for both YouTube and maybe Instagram Reels or something like that, TikToks or whatever, I think this is perfect for that because you can crop in with the super wide angle and it look perfectly fine. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and go shoot our commercial. I'm gonna go back over to area over here, kind of courtyard area. Now I do have the Nifty 50 with me today, so we're gonna grab the products here. We're gonna keep our water with us. We're gonna pretend we have glycerin in there, but we don't. And then we are going to make sure I wanna make sure I take the Nifty 50 with us. I'm gonna just take this out and put it in my bag just because I don't wanna carry all that stuff. I don't wanna carry this whole thing here. So Nifty 50, where is that? Yeah, we need this. And I think that's it, and that's all we need. Okay, so we are gonna scope out this area real quick, just kind of walk through, find a little spot to kind of shoot this little commercial. I want to get a little bit of light. I'm looking for things like this. You see how the sun is kind of peeking through? Looking for stuff like that to kind of make it. I think this might be a good spot right here. So we'll choose this for spot number 1. I'm telling you, man, this thing comes in handy. I'm thinking about setting it up like right in here. Once I get the lighting where I want it to be, we'll kind of switch over to actually shooting. It's got a little nice little backlight to it. And we may want to flip the scene, to be honest with you. We'll look at, see how that looks on camera. I'm digging that, right? We'll get a couple of little quick shots, kind of pushes and pan. You know, get enough clips to actually make like a 10 to 15 second spot. Like, for the sake of the video, it's on face back, but is that be finding a good spot? So push or pan into. Let's add a little bit of water to here. So let's switch over to the Nifty 50 and then let's get a couple shots with that. Nice. Close-ups of it. So we're gonna just flip in and the. So I'm gonna turn this way. But this, see, now we have stuff in the background that I feel like it's taken away from. You see like that really hot spot in the background? I think it's adding when it comes to. I think it's adding when it comes to like the water droplets and stuff. But I don't think it's adding when it comes to, I think it's taking away when it comes to like the background here. Again, we're only looking for like a little clip, right? So we're only looking for about a couple of seconds worth of footage here. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's do some photography. Let's get some product shots. I always used to use the viewfinder for this type of photography, especially with a DSLR. Now with the DSLR, so you won't be able to get the image of what you're looking at until after you take photo. But it'll be, yeah. So I feel it at 50, which I don't want to be at. So let's go up to at least 125. Then I'm gonna bring down the iris. I'm gonna open that up some. Let's go to F4. You really want to have some type of, unless you like really know what you're trying to get, you really want to have some depth. You really want to compress the image a little bit, and not like over emphasize the size of things unless that's what you're going for. Finding the shot, taking it. I like my exposure. I would say it's a little bit overexposed. You see a little bit more. No, I like where we are at f5. I want to bring my exposure down just a little bit. We'll go under 150 Carter. You gotta switch over. But the stool DSLR, just like she have to slow down or I'm gonna have to bring my ISO up just a little. So I'm at 100 ISO. I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit. A nice like aero shot frame. I'm gonna back up just a little bit and get like a lot of space in the frame. Let's go a little bit lower. Super hard, but she nice. Let's put it off to the side there. That's how we should like that. Hey, get my guy. Hey, take that. Yeah. I don't want to cut like a title or put like some sort of text for like half off or some sort of message. Alright, we'll do the same. First, give him a little space over here. Now I'm in the era of like framing and recomposing, or like grabbing focus and then recomposing. Something I used to do all the time, but now we don't need to do that anymore. All right, so I think I'm good. I think we got the shot. 10 or 15 minutes and 25 bug bites later, we're done. So we shot at all about 10 or 15 minutes. And I think we got some pretty good shots. I think, you know, if you were to be definitely shooting for like a local brand or somebody who creates products like that, that's something that you would probably need to look into doing. Now, I think those type of shoots can be done with a camera a camera setup that is about $300. And this is a $300. This is a very old camera that I think if you're shooting for a local brand or something like that, they will have no problem with some of the images that I was able to get right here. And literally just kind of, just shooting and finding a nice location and finding some decent lighting scenarios and kind of working with that light. It's pretty much the middle of the day right now. We're going on 10 o'clock in the summertime, so you kind of get that like midday feel. The sun is really high already. On an area like that where you can actually just get some decent shots. So now we're heading into the store. I typically try to get my stuff from Amazon. I don't really like going to stores like that, especially like for like sports gear, because it's so much more expensive in the stores. But I'm going to Play It Again Sports to see if we can get something affordable for my kid. Didn't find any pads and stuff that I wanted, but they have a lot of cleats here. Thousands of cleats. Not thousands, but quite a few cleats here that probably could work for the season. All right, couldn't find anything but some cleats. These were actually only $19. So, with kids and like especially boys, they play. He plays football like twice a year, and usually we have to buy a new cleat every season. And it's foot grows and stuff. So like going to a place like that to find like some cleats that someone is not using any longer, and actually they look like they look brand new. They look white, clean, like no one even wore these. So brand new cleats, and his team's color is orange and blue. Okay, so we made it back home, and we did not start editing in Starbucks like I thought I was going to do. The reason why is because I just had to run over to get my daughter, and then I had to drive back home. But now we're home, and I'm gonna actually take all this footage off and see what we got. Hopefully, we got some good stuff. Hopefully, you know, I can say that you can really do a shoot with the 70D. Okay, so you should see an immediate improvement in video quality because we just switched over to the EOS R, which is not a huge jump, but we're talking about mirrorless. We're talking about a better lens as well. I have the 16 to 35 millimeter on there. But anyway, let's grab this bad boy and let's transfer the footage. So this is just literally a 32 gigabyte card. Let's see what we have on here, and then us also see what, this is one of the things that people don't think about when they upgrade cameras and they move on to a bigger system or a better system. Your whole entire workflow changes as well. Your post-processing, your editing, exporting, your importing, all that stuff is going to be a lot easier with a camera like this. Now this is not a solid state drive, so speeds won't be super fast. So let's dive in here real quick and let's see what we have. So we're gonna open up the, yep. And please don't talk about this is my throwaway disc. So let's go to, oh wait, hold on, what are we doing here? I don't know what we're doing there. Okay, so we're here on social. Let's create a new folder. Let's just call it 70D footage. Oops. Okay, so we have quite a few images here that we took, which they look pretty clean. So we have JPEG and RAW images here. These are some of those images that kind of didn't come out clean based off of the, it looks like I have two folders here. Let's see. Yeah, I have two photos here. So I got some more images in this one. Nice, okay. Okay, these are some of those hero shots that we were looking at. Okay, so let's start to transfer these over. So I'm gonna take these here. Let's create an image folder over here. So we'll do images. Okay, so we'll drag these over here. And we'll go over here and grab the other images from the other folder. Drop those in. And we will grab the videos from this here. Create a new folder called file. Let's call it footage. Let's call it clips. And then we'll drop these in here. And that quickly, all the photos are already dropped over, and now we're dropping the video files, which are going to be a little bit larger, but I mean, it's saying that it's going to take less than a minute for those items, and then it's saying that we're going to be estimated time about 3 minutes. So that's, I mean, that's one of the pluses of using a camera that is not, you know, just data hungry and like size hungry. Being able to just transfer and drop this stuff over and you're done. We literally were able to shoot some photos and some videos for a product shoot and drop this stuff over in 3 minutes. So that's something to be aware of if you're looking at like using a camera like this, or even upgrading to something bigger. Does your workflow and does your time, your post-processing time, is it going to be extended? Do you need for it to be extended? Is it worth the hassle of needing to have more space, more storage, more everything, pretty much, more RAM, more processing power from your computer? Is it worth it with what you're getting from the camera that you just purchased? Something to think about. Okay, and one thing I just noticed too, as we're finishing up here, Some of these clips are actually for the vlog. So some of these clips are not even from, let's make sure we got everything here. Okay, do I have that file here? It's probably up here somewhere. Thing here. Okay, so I don't think I have 27. Wait, 27. I have it right here. Okay, so I do have those clips. All right, so a lot of these clips are vlog footage. So not only do we have clips from shooting, we also have vlog footage clips. So I'm gonna separate these out just so we know what is what. New folder, call that vlog. Drag it over here. That's a clip, 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 clip. Okay, so those are all clips from our shoot. These are the vlog footage clips from the shoot. These are the images from that shoot. Got some raw images and we got some. Okay, nice. So let's go through and let's put together a quick edit or something like that. All right, so let's, you know what? Let's pull in, I want to separate these out. So let's separate these by kind. Well, you know what? Let's just do size. I don't know why I didn't do, okay, size. Okay, so these are all of my raw clips here. All right, we're gonna pull that into Adobe Lightroom. Okay, let's see, do I like this? A little bit off balance. I mean off okay. Some of these close-ups, like they're kind of out of focus there. That's pretty good. It's like the depth of field is just a little bit too shallow for some of those close-ups. It's like you have to find that, that's a nice shot. You have to find that kind of happy medium. Doing too much with the iris can sometimes be, you know, not helpful at all. Let's go ahead and import these. Nice. Okay. Let's see what we got. This is where like the water can be kind of an issue too. You can almost see where I sprayed it at. But actually that's probably the area where, this area here is probably where it started kind of beating off and running down. It's not too bad. You can definitely see that like back here is like overexposed. These are some of those images that were where we actually shot with the light kind of coming head on. So the background kind of was overexposed. I'm definitely liking these backlit shots. And this is why you do this. This is why you go and you kind of like shoot both ways just in case. I'm pretty sure I can bring some of that back there. Possibly. Looks like it's overexposed, but this is kind of doable, but like I feel like this kind of distracts a little bit from like looking at the product, and the product looks a little bit blurry here. So yeah, I probably would nix those few just because of that. That doesn't look too bad, but again, I don't like really this here. It's too much going on there. So let's pick a couple that we like. Here we go. I'm feeling that there. I like this. Out of focus. Out of focus. All right. This looks good. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning heavily towards these backlit photos. Don't really like some of the framing for that stuff. This is a nice framing. I can't really tell that this is the product really, but I do like how it's framed up. Almost like it almost looks like a almost looks like this is something that they put on the frame, but it is the product itself. Got a couple of little pieces there. I'll take that one. Yeah, here we go. That's a nice shot. Really like you could tell like the difference between these two right here is that we're more on the eye level of the product. I'm saying eye level. You can see like we're not like pointing down at it. We're at the level of it. I think that looks good. I like that shot, but it's a little bit soft. There we go. That's a much better shot there. I probably could have went, I mean, for these, I was at, let's see, where was I at? Do I have any metadata here? I think it was like at F4 or something. Like, well, or higher than F4, probably at F5. Where's our metadata at? Must be, lenses must be too old. Camera must be too old. Let's see. Not really liking that one, but I think it's doable. One of these here. Once we put a little bit of sauce on it, it should be fine. Like that one. Okay, so I got a couple picks. And honestly, you want to be nitpicky at this stuff. You don't want to like have a whole bunch of selects and you're like, oh yeah, I love all of these. No, be very intentional about what you're selecting and why you're selecting it. So I'm not gonna do too much of this. I'm just gonna like literally just drop like some curves or something like on it. I'm not gonna get like crazy or nothing with this. I do want to see if we auto correct this, what it will do. All right, so brought down the highlights a little bit, just like I was saying. But I think it's much easier to do that with the backlit photos than it is to do that with anything else. We're gonna get a little bit more contrast here with that. Let's bring up the clarity a little bit. Yep, that'll give us a little bit more of that. We'll go in and we'll spot heal this little speck there. And then, okay. And yeah, not too bad. I think we need to do a little bit of angle correction here. Seems like it's a little off there, and then we'll make sure we frame this up into the center. That's okay. You see we got a little bit of gap here between the so that kind of throws off the framing just a little bit. But I'm okay with that. And then, yeah, just simple, brought the vibrance just a little bit. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Then we can have like a little bit more contrast here. And a little bit more exposure. Most brands like stuff to pop and be bright. But anyway, now that we're there, I think we can literally just copy this across, and then we'll do some like adjustment with the rest, probably with the cropping and stuff. Let's make sure the crop is good here. So want that to be kind of there. Yep. And maybe that's a little bit too, I mean, I like where it's at, but I would love for that to be a little bit more eye level. Like there was too much above. Let's go to the next one. This definitely needs to come up some exposure. Let's bring the exposure up a little bit here. Bring the highlights down some. Now let's go in. Again, I'm not trying to like go crazy with this. They're not paying me to do anything, so so I am just kind of going. Let's get a little bit more. Chop that off down below there. Nice. Fiddled the frame a little bit too much there, but I'm okay with that. All right. This is a nice shot as well. Just bring this up. Check on the framing a little bit. Composition a little bit off. This is killing me, this gap right here, but I am okay with how these images are coming out. And this is kind of like a more, I don't know if you would call it a kind of artistic shot, just because of how the framing is and everything. Kind of fill it with the frame like this. Let's go and spot heal this. Is there anything else we need to spot heal? Looks like there's something on it. Spot heal. I don't know if I can spot heal this part right here. Well, we'll try. Okay. Yeah, looks much better. Cool. That's all I'm literally doing. Nothing more than that. Love this shot. Looks good. Let's frame it up a little bit better. Make sure that we're good with that. Bam, bam. Good. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm really digging the eye level stuff. I'm saying eye level, but you know what I mean. By now, at least. Cool. All right, frame that up. Good. Nice. All right, and these are our like shots for maybe they're trying to do like a $10 off. So we pretty much got it in the thirds there, and then let's give it a little bit of zhuzhing. Got that from my friend Angie. She says that word all the time. I just still don't know what it means. Nice. All right, same thing here. We're leaving that open negative space there for that. And then we're doing the same thing here. And this is like enough for a brand to be like, oh, okay, okay, I've got everything I need here. I got a shot of the product. I've got, some shots that I can use for social media. I can put some text over it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna go and we're gonna export these. All right, file, export. We're gonna name these, we're gonna put these in a subfolder. We're gonna choose, let's see, go to the social media. Oh, wait, no. We're gonna need to go to the social, and then we need to go to the 70D footage. Let's do, let's just make a photo rendered. Put a capital E in there accidentally. Choose, let's call it Bevel. Bevel 1, start there. Good. Yep. And then let's export that. Okay. So while that is exporting, you can kind of like choose to do what you want with something like this. I tend to leave the like designing to people who like design. I don't design. So we're going to do some designing through Canva here. And so let me pull up Canva. I'm gonna create, let's do like a, let's search for something, I don't know. Product. Search for like product stuff. This is the wrong search. I'm looking for like, okay. Product. Here we go. We're looking for stuff like this. Looking for stuff that's gonna like help us frame this up. May help it look like an ad. This is like a perfect example of what we're trying to do here, but it may need a little bit of adjustment here. So let's delete all of this, right? And then we'll use like the bevel like colors and stuff. So let's go in here. Photo renders. Oh, they put it in a whole nother folder. Okay, so let's go to the last ones that we had, like 9 and 10. This is perfect. So drop that in. Nice. Nice. And since like I am like completely just doing this off of random, I'm going to like not spend a lot of time on like creative, but something like this, we'll probably let's do these in that kind of black. Yeah, probably more of the black there. Maybe we can do these in, looks like there's a kind of a grayish there, like that grayish tone. And I think this one probably needs to be black as well. Let's make this one black. All right. So let's go to like Bevel's website and see what they do. Maybe they have like some text or something that we can look at and see. Ooh, fresh never fades. I like that. Pretty cool. But we're literally just trying to get some text here. Like they have a, like this is perfect. Just like literally trying to get, okay, fresh never fades. Let's see. Definitely didn't do like the bevel trimmer, but like, let's see, they have like hair, body, skin. Ah, look, there we go. Let's see. Even their, if you look at their text, like the way they do their text here, I would even change this to be something similar to that. Let's see, probably something like that with all caps here. Yeah. Let's see. What do we call it? What kind of sale would we call this? Maybe. Let's see if we can find a. Bevel. Let's just call it like bevel skin. And then let's see if we can find a way to reduce this. Your first order, to get 10% off your first order when you drop your email below. Let's just call it get 10% off. Or I can just tighten this up here. We just go getbevel.com. Getbevel.com, nice and simple. Okay, so yeah, I like this tagline, fresh never fades, but maybe that's for the trimmer. But yeah, I mean, that is basically our product shot there. Let's download that. Let's do a nice size download. And just that quickly, we have a product shot in a shot that we can like show someone and say, hey, like this is what we produce for you. This is an example of what it looks like. And let's go to photo renders here. We'll just put just call this renders. Okay, and then let's open this up, see what it looks like. All right, I am happy with that. I think we could have done a better job of making sure that we got everything in focus here. I do feel like it's a little bit soft around here, so we could have, I do like the separation of the background, but there's plenty back here that we could have brought this in a little bit more, probably shooting at like F9, to be honest with you, because I believe we were at like F7 when we were shooting this. So at F7 with the 50mm, you're gonna get plenty of compression, and you're gonna get plenty of like kind of bokeh just because of the distance of the background. But we were well above F4 here. So that gives you an idea. Sometimes you don't have to shoot as soft as you think you do need to shoot. Now, we're done with that. Let's move on to maybe some video stuff. Okay, so we just created our photos. So we're gonna get out of that. We're gonna pull up, let's skip that. We're gonna pull up Final Cut, and we're gonna create a new project in Final Cut. But I was just looking through a couple of like Bevel's clips, and now that I'm looking at them, of course I would have did something different. I didn't do any research on Bevel in some of their clips beforehand, which would have probably been a good idea. This was all like spur of the moment. But I'm leaning towards just something like simple, and just like a couple of clips here and there, and kind of just fading out. So maybe like 2 or 3 clips, and just having a nice little beat over top of it. I don't have any of Bevel's like imagery or like their assets to actually work with something. So we're gonna just create a new project here. I'm gonna save this, and we're gonna use the vertical aspect here. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm gonna create a new library. Let me get out of this file. New library. I'm just gonna call this Bevel, and then we're gonna go in here to 70D footage. I'm gonna drop it in here. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna kind of close these. Let me close these other joints that I have in here. Close, close, close. Close. All right. Bet. So now we're just in here. We're gonna create a new project file. New project. Let's call this Bevel. Bevel clip. Let's call it Bevel clip. I'm being very just nonchalant about a lot of this stuff right now. Anyway, we're gonna shoot this, and this is shot in 1920 by 1080. We're gonna create a vertical video real quick. I think we could also do like something like a digital postcard, because a lot of the stuff that we did was very simple. I would like to maybe have gotten some hands in there, maybe put a little bit more into the video portion of it. We just really did some pushes and pans here to kind of get trying to get some shots. Now, what folder did I use for that? I think it's just clips. Yeah. All right, got it. So we're gonna drop these clips in here. And so there's a couple of ways that you can do this. Sometimes I'll go in here and I'll tell this to do fill. for the spatial conform, and that way when I drop them in, I don't have to like reframe them or scale them up. So we're gonna quiet all of this, and then we're gonna go through and just find some of the best like little clips here. We can already see that there's a little bit of shakiness in some of the footage here. So I like to just go through and literally clip out those parts where I know that I'm trying to stay nice and smooth. Got a little kind of Dutch angle there a little bit. Nice. It'd be nice if we had like 60 frames per second. That would be a nice little like one take shot. So one thing with like having like 60 frames per second, you can do is like if you hold a clip for 5 to 6 seconds, you have a nice 15-second clip that you can easily turn into content. Yeah, definitely a little bit shaky here with the cam. See some clips where I kind of went vertical. It's nothing there really. So this one, I want to rotate this one. Now I wanted to shoot this so that I could, you know, shoot it vertical and horizontal or use it for both. That's why I was kind of shooting a little bit wide. But good, I got a nice clip there. And I also use music. So once I get through clipping these, I'm gonna holler at Epidemic Sound real quick, pull some clips off of there. And if you do have if there's another brand out there that wants to work with me other than Epidemic Sound is not paying me either to use them. But I've been using them for years and really love using Epidemic Sound because they tend to have some good footage. I mean, good quality like audio and clips and stuff. So kind of fine. So yeah, you can definitely tell, especially with the longer lens, how shaky that footage is. I would definitely recommend not shooting something like a camera like that handheld, unless you have added some weight to it. It would be nice to rig that out versus like hold it handheld, especially with that long lens on there. So I'm skipping over some of these vertical clips just because a lot of these clips are very similar. And you know, shooting with something that has a little more technology would make this a lot easier. But try to get up close here, but that doesn't look like it's in frame. I mean, it's like in focus for real, so I'm gonna cut that. Some of the stuff I could have spent a little bit more time on. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut that. Not really impressed with that shot. Let's see. Okay. I might even go to something that like just loops for real, because this is sometimes it's better like in this scenario when you know you don't have something with good like stabilization or anything. Sometimes it's better to just go ahead and just do more still shots than to try to pull off some type of motion and movement in your camera shots. So not opposed to that shot there, that's okay. Okay, so I got some clips here. I'm going to go ahead and tell this to go ahead and stabilize everything. That's gonna take a second while I go to Epidemic Sound. Let's like listen to one of the clips here.
The box that made me be a boxer. That made me become who I am. You know, even when I was in prison.
Now this is a really well done photo, but just listening for the music here.
My name is Lauren the Legend, and this is how I achieved the perfect beard with Bevel. First, we're going to prep the beard with the 2
So it seems like they like to use a little bit of those kind of like flares and stuff like that. I might have a few of those, but we may be able to get those off of the internet as well. I may add a little bit to what we've done, but I would definitely say they're more like of a hip hop, you know, soulful hip hop kind of brand. Let's look for specific. I need to find like something I can. That's not bad right there. I think we found the song. Okay, I got bang with that right there. All right, so let's download that. We're gonna put that into our, let's just do assets here. Assets folder. All right, so we're gonna use that song. We're gonna drop that down in here. And let's see if we can get like a, Bevel logo or something like that. Pretty sure they got like a, when I'm looking at some of the stuff that they got, like the video that we just watched, they seem like more the official videos. Where was it at? Was it? That's not it. Where's that video at? I just saw it. I don't know which one I just clicked on, but it was a dude with the boxing guy, right?
My name Casey K. Chomp Dixon, and I'm a professional boxer. You know,
I'm pretty sure they'll throw like a logo or something at the end of this.
That made me be a boxer. That made me become who I am. You know, even when I was in.
That's a cool like spot though. I like that. Okay, so let me see if they have like a PNG. I don't see any PNGs. They don't really have anything. I would love to have that asset though. That would. Maybe this one here. Let's just take that one and then we'll save this one. Save as. Just put that in the assets there. The black one we can kind of, you know, key out the black. And yes, baby. I'm making a video. What's up?
My iPad's not talking.
Take it out and plug it back in. If you can't get that one to charge, then use the other one, okay? All right, so here we go. We got something nice and simple here. So let's just drop in We dropped in the music already. Ooh, you see, we got a little bit of jello going on here. So let's go. Let's see, let me make sure. Definitely got a little jello going on here with the clips. And by jello, I mean, since we put the stabilization on here, like a lot of jello. So let's go and let's remove the stabilization for now. Okay. I think we'll start with like just that there. If I cut this quick enough, it may not be as big of an issue as I'm seeing it to be right now. Ideally, I would not. Ideally, I would not want to. Ideally, I would not want to have it. Have it be as shaky as it is right now. It's not ideal. Let's see if we can get. I think the problem with this is that we just don't have enough like going on with the. We don't have enough going on with the creative here. I think that's probably the biggest problem, or that's probably the biggest problem. Yeah, I would like this to be a lot cleaner than this. Ideally, I probably would have put this on a Ronin or something like that. But all these shots are like pretty much the same. And so I like that there. Maybe we can drop that here. It's like that little part. I have to like kind of adjust this. Yeah, so it's like I'm trying to work around the shake and get shots that are not as shaky to be the forefront. That's not a bad shot. And when we do this with when we redo the stabilization, it should give us a little bit more, give us a better kind of, yeah, these are like super tight and shaky. Okay, so I'm seeing that like, yeah, maybe go a little bit to that wide joint there. Okay, let me get these a little bit bigger. Okay. Now I'm just kind of like being creative with some of these kind of cuts here. Hopefully I can fix that with stabilization. Okay, what does the ending of this sound like? Kind of totally different. Yeah, maybe we end it on that, and then we'll bring in these. Let's go. Come on. I hate when it does that. Doesn't want to let me get closer. Okay. I'll do it there. Just won't do it here. All right. We get it. Let's go with stabilization here. Let's redo all those stabilization clips. See if we can get them to be a little bit better since they are now shorter, not as much movement as before. Hopefully we don't get as much jello going on and the clips look fairly good. So that's done now. And that's the beauty of like editing with this footage is that it just happens. Jello's not as bad. I can still see it in spots, especially there. Okay. So the only fix I found for that is to just close out and then open it back up. I don't know why it does that, but there we go. Okay. Some of those shots I don't really particularly like that one. Maybe we can put some little pizzazz over top of it. Let's do, let's go and pull up. Let's go and pull up this here. Remember, Bevel has been using a lot of those flares. All right, so we finally got it up. Clip grab does not work anymore. And maybe I am behind the 8-ball on that, but we're gonna go here. I'm gonna use a few of these transitions to help like really save this, because right now, as it needs a lot of work. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because it's not where I wanted to be at. So we're gonna put this onto screen, and we're gonna have these. There we go. Nice. It adds a lot more to it because it is struggling. Good. Probably add that. Yeah, I like that there. Good. Ooh, like that. Kind of fits the vibe of what they've been doing, you know. Yeah, actually timed up perfectly with the sound here. Nice. Just adds a little bit to the footage so it's not just so focused on the kind of the footage that we got, because the footage we got I think we'll go right there. Once that flare goes through, we just straight bevel There. Bam. And that's how like usually like clips are like good videos are layered, right? You have the audio layer, which right now is just simply our music, and then you have the visual layer, which is our clips, and then we have the kind of transition layer here where we actually are transitioning between the clips. Now, the more layers you have, usually the more interesting the footage in the video is. So typically, like I like to add the layer of music, then the layer of dialogue, and that layer of dialogue also adds a layer of kind of interview footage, right? And then when you put the layer of B-roll over top of that, and then you put the layer of transitions over top of that, you then have a really dynamic video. This really needed these transitions because there wasn't enough there visually for it to really work. So let's watch this back from the beginning. Yeah, I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that. I think what it could use is just like for it being shot on a 70D, I am elated at how that came out. I think what we could do like for some of this is like add a little bit of text, but you know, I'm not sure like what type of text we would add or why we would add it or what it would actually say. Maybe a couple little like on-screen text pieces here and there would really help this come out. So let's export this. So I'm just going to export this with you know, typical settings. And so we're going to click, oops. Oh, I closed the projects here. All right, so we're gonna click here. Then we're gonna share, export, double clip. Let's go to renders. Bam. So we got two renders here. I mean, typically you would do a little bit, I'll do a little bit more rendering as far as when it like basically coming to having like more photos. Like we got plenty of photos there. So there's plenty of photos that could be used and also kind of rendered out with some text and like on-screen text. And then we have a video clip, which also could have been used vertically and horizontally. So I could have made that same clip horizontally. Usually I would do that first and then I would go into something like this, but I just wanted to make like a quick little social media clip. I hope you enjoyed that. Using the 70D, using a 10-year-old camera and a really old lens, I think that shows that you can actually do it with that footage. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I will see you guys in this video. Peace.